research on juniper is becoming quite fascinating. Turns out juniper as a wood is super resilient to like bugs and rot and all that stuff, kind of like cedar or redwood. Boy, it's funny, I got out on this property, I'm just like, dirt, build with earth. And then it's like, ooh, all the free wood I can have? Holy cow. I mean, not to mention just it's all the gasifying, right? And then now I'm starting to think like these gasifiers that are like new don't put out much waste other than like ash. There is a product called biochar, which is charcoal impregnated with compost tea. So you get this bioactive carbon. Charcoal has like millions of little pockets in it apparently, and so stuff can live in those little pockets super easily. This is a huge thing for gardening and that. So if I build my gasifier with the intent of extracting charcoal out of it, then it's like I have like gas and charcoal. It'll take a little more fuel, I think, because I mean, obviously if the thing's just self-consuming and self is what's getting the gas out of the fresh wood, and it's just kind of a continuous feed method. I think ideally it's like wood chips and wood pellets and stuff like that. Although there's this gasifier's Bible, and I'm probably gonna get it just based on the fact that I probably have more than one thing going on with the gasifying. Now I'm thinking about a portable sawmill though, because I could just be getting all kinds of different things that wood would be awesome for, like roofing. Can't build a roof with dirt very easily. I literally watched a video last night about the county that I live in. Like, it's like the heart of the juniper issue. The county literally gives loans to people with business plans that involve juniper. And this one guy in particular, he just had all kinds of stuff he was making out of juniper. I mean, just everything, really, just using it just like any other wood. It is super unique though, like the coloring in it, it's really actually pretty good. So I went from thinking when I first got there that the junipers were like, I was literally trying to avoid killing them as I was laying things out. I was like, oh look, there's no junipers here, perfect. I'll do, and I was gonna keep any of it, And then it's like, oh, they're trash, but how much damage? Oh, they're really doing damage. The grass, and there's all kinds of one wildlife in particular, some grouse, I think it is, that lives in the sagebrush. The juniper trees scare them because like predators are in those juniper trees. This whole kind of bird really can't manage around them. Yeah, it's interesting, and I guess it wasn't brought in. It just kind of moved in when we started stopping fires. When we started stopping forest fires, the juniper just took advantage and just exploded. I think these hills are all junipers, all this around here. Juniper trees are literally one of my first projects is going to be getting them all off my property. Now I've seen properties out there that don't have junipers, and I'm like, oh, now that makes sense. Those people are hip to what I'm just finding out. Getting them off my property, but then just starting to harvest them, man. I'm like gonna get a hold of some big ones and cut some nice wood, like, so all my countertops are gonna be juniper epoxy, right? So I'll use epoxy to like fill, because they have a lot of holes in them and weird stuff, which is awesome. But when you want a nice, so anyway, the clear epoxy, and then like when it's filling in holes, I can maybe add some coloration in there. I'm like, first I was just looking at them like beams and wondering if they were gonna be strong enough. Man, they're just fine. So I can get big, long, whole trees. I think that basically what the deal is with a tree is it's as strong as its smallest part. So if you get a whole tree and the smallest part of it is like 6 by 6, but at the base it's like maybe 12 by 12 or something, you really only have a 6 by 6. Yeah, I went from like totally thinking that there wasn't going to be much wood shit going on. So now I'm looking at portable sawmills. It's going to be quite the adventure. Building this first structure. I mean, it's really the showcase structure. It's the living area. It's the kitchen. There'll be bathrooms in there to make it really freaking nice, you know. It's gonna take longer, but so I have this whole concept of an indoor outdoor kitchen, so you can just move in and out to do outdoor cooking and indoor cooking. It's not really a house because there's no bedrooms. We'll have a roof that jets out, and that roof will be just right at the right angle to block the summer sun but catch the winter sun coming inside. And then out in front of that, a ridiculous pool. When I say ridiculous, like, I really want a ridiculous pool. Like, you know, indoor and outdoor, year-round, with waterfalls and tropical things growing. Like, I want to be able to grow bananas in my pool house. This building, I kind of want to do this thing like this, the roof out like this, and then a round back, and then so like a round structure, but then this other structure, well, it's all one structure, but think of a dome, kind of a dome-ish thing, circular to a certain point, but then this thing that wedges out like that holds the roof slash awning, but then you're actually indoors and outdoors under that. That's where the whole indoor outdoor thing comes in. So you have an indoor part like that, and then you go outside into the kitchen, same roof, and then on the other side of all that, same roof, right? Just all the way. Huge. Doing that all with like whole log style roof, the earthen walls, and then full log like supportage, and then cut down boards to like cover all that, because having a hella thick roof is pretty important. Having a thick roof is important. Lots of insulation above. But when I look up, I don't want to see insulation. And when I look up, what I think I would like to see is, you know, big logs, and maybe even like a fan or something, maybe coming off from one point, and then in between all that, you see between it, and then above it, you have nice board wood. Yeah, my mind's exploding with Juniper now. I mean, it's just free. I mean, literally, there's just places I could just write down that I could probably drive my backhoe to these places and just pull the whole thing up out of the ground. Well, maybe not, I don't know. Just haul them back to my property and just start piling them up. I mean, that's going to be a huge thing, because it's like I'm in this stage right now where I'm trying to secure the property, which the shipping container thing is my secure area. Once those 4 shipping containers have been put down, I can pull everything I own into there, put a gate, and lock it up, right? So much better. So there it's secure, you know, and we've talked about the plumbing and all that, but really it's just like right now I have all these little piles around the areas that I've cleared, and all that needs to be taken and moved over into this area so it can be processed, sorted, or its level of sand versus whatever. And I have a feeling that the soil that I have up there is super awesome for building with. I think it's perfectly ratioed to just do what it's supposed to do, because I see the way the water behaves on it. And I haven't actually, it's a simple test, but I haven't done it yet. You just like make a little turd and then hold the turd by one end and shake it, and if it holds like a certain amount, then you're golden. I don't think the technical term would be turd. That was just the first thing that came to mind in the shape that, you know, could be a hot dog. I'm gonna have this insane pile of building materials for just labor and fuel. So I'll start harvesting my land. Once I get all those harvested, I'll go truck out and see. I'm already starting to kind of try to figure out how I'm gonna move like freaking big trees and shit. Yeah, I'm trying to be a farmer. And a lot of information I've compiled, a lot of people fail at this whole thing because they do things out of order. Comfort and relaxation are key to being able to freaking just work endlessly on stuff. So if you are working endlessly and then when you're done working, you're in misery, it's just a miserable prospect, right? Especially in the modern era, you know? I mean, that was just people's freaking reality 150 whatever years ago. But nowadays, you know, you can have a nice life with clean and relaxation. I just have to be real with the situation and go, you know, if I don't have a really mellow place to kick it out here, I'm not really going to be able to get all this other shit done. Putting, you know, a sewage treatment plant, a solar system, rainwater harvesting, like all that shit, and getting a really nice structure put together that meets the needs. I already have a trailer, so it's not like I need to build some little something to make it out there. If I was to build a little something, I could sell the trailer for quite a bit of money, apply it to stuff out there, which is part of the plan, you know, once I have something else to stay in. Although what I'm doing right now, I mean, the trailer is super slick. Just being able to, you know, bop over someplace and, you know, travel easily is so freaking new to me. Like, I've never in my whole life just, like, I literally decided to go to Reno one day before I left. It just made sense. Everything lined up. I had all these things and I could just do it. So if I sold the trailer and I don't have a trailer, then, you know. But the point is I have a trailer now. I can live in it. So I can get myself to that point of having a decent place. Like, I don't have to build like a little small crappy place. I mean, I say crappy, I say a little small. It doesn't have to be crappy, but just like some little place that's to start. Now, it's like the trailer is like the start. Getting a structure built that, you know, is just like a normal, you know, it's not like I gotta go out and start the generator or go and drive and get the water. And, you know, there's water filtration, there's the sewer works, you know. I mean, when you're there, you're not going to be thinking sewage treatment plant. You know, you're just going to be thinking the toilet flushes. That's nice. It's not an RV toilet or an outhouse, you know. It's just a normal toilet, you know, and a normal kitchen, and everything's normal. And the gas is a little different color than normal gas because I'm making it myself. And this just like totally opens up the potential, you know, heating, for instance, right? Rocket stoves and rocket mass heaters, and I'm gasifying all this wood. I have that infrastructure to turn wood into gas, so why wouldn't I just want to have like gas heater, you know? It's so easy compared to like feeding, you know, because I could do a gas heater mass heater. Gas, yeah. So the gas can pump heat into a mass, right? There's no need to have, you know, stick fire to be able to heat up a mass, right? It just radiates heat throughout the day. But then again, if you have unlimited gas, you know, it's one of those things where do you really need to do the heating of that? And I'm building the house in such a way that it's going to be using, you know, the earth and the sun to regulate the heat. So it's not like I'm going to have a huge heat requirement. And I'm not even going to install air conditioners. I'm installing these this whole vent system that the Earthships use. That'll pull cool air through the ground and just build around it. So anyway, this is just going to be so much fun building all this stuff. And you know, I think just getting off that property, because I was in such a funk from the backhoe deal and just all the setbacks and problems and shit that's just like my old life. And it's like, you know, I just never got away from my old life. I never just left my house. I literally spent 4.5 years in my house just working. Now I started doing that on this property. I've been working on it nonstop for like a month. And before that, I had so much shit in Portland that I was like, you know, when was the last time I just didn't do anything? And it's been a couple months. Like, who does that? People take days off way more frequently than I do. I mean, most people, what, they like have a weekend? So anyway, now getting away from there and then doing a little research, and now I'm re-excited again. Because now I'm like, okay, I got the backhoe and this and that, you know, and I can start doing this and that. I got to get the sewage treatment plant in, but I already know I have to do that, right? And that's just all about digging a huge hole. I mean, huge trench hole, giant, long. I mean, holy cow. Then I want to pour the walls a foot thick, 5% concrete in a foot thick. That wouldn't be a very thick wall if you just used the same amount of concrete. Took the amount of concrete and just made a concrete wall. That would probably be not much. So I'm thinking a foot of reinforced, or yeah, with rebar. But then I'm starting to think too, does wood work as rebar? I mean, and they're selling fiberglass rebar in Par Lumber now. So if you can use fiberglass and you can use steel, yeah, sure, it's not going to be like, who knows, wood totally encased in poured earth. There's no oxygen to get to it, so why wouldn't it work? This is why I wish my shit was live right now, so people could tell me and I could look into it and they could be like, whoa, yeah. Because I mean, why not just use wood as rebar? So the total amount of weird resources that I got to come up with is 5% for, you know, and maybe like the wire tie, metal wire tie to tie the wood together. Juniper reinforced poured earth. Yeah, that's some next level shit there. Gotta do a test or something, because it doesn't get any more green than that. So anyway, yay Juniper. It's crazy the fact that I looked into all this Juniper stuff, and then this whole entire trip so far has just been Junipers. I'm just like, they're freaking everywhere. And that's what the video said. I mean, the area that they're in is a ginormous area. Huge. They're everywhere though. It's definitely an untapped resource. Yes, the almighty Juniper. Not just good for gin anymore.